for the almost entire 1800s, America was doing excellently. There was, yeah, poverty here and there, throughout the country, and there were people who were, doing what they could to make ends meet every day. It's not like we were a rich nation at the time. We're richer now, but people were fine. People worked, the man worked, and he was able to provide for his family. Whether that was just to put food on the table and, have a home to call their own, or whether it was to live a decent life and, really get to enjoy some of the finer things. Nobody was struggling to the point where they were absolutely destitute unless they just were not working. But the economy overall wasn't bad. Things were affordable, and it stayed that way for a very long time, decade after decade in the 1800s. Things were pretty much the same. It wasn't until the Civil War that things got crazy because, we dumped a lot of money into the economy and took on debt to pay for the war. And then eventually after that, we rolled into the Industrial Revolution, started stimulating the economy, but then we took on the whole, income tax thing with 1913 with the Federal Reserve. And then eventually World War I, World War II, these dumped so much money into the country through debt to finance those wars. And then it just kind of snowballed from there to where we are today. Then eventually you had 1970, the dollar was taken off the gold standard, and things just really, inflated and got to where they are today. But for the entire 1800s, we lived off of tariff money, and everything was fine. This country was running smoothly. It was growing at a very natural and smooth and steady pace, and things were going well. America was thriving, and we were a free country. We were doing, our best. There was a lot of innovation in the 1800s. Tons of things were being invented. They put an entire railroad across the country, 2,000 miles of railroad, and it transported all kinds of things. It exploded the economy, exploded our growth. It eventually led to the Industrial Revolution. You had the telephone was invented. You had electricity was, discovered and harnessed with alternating current, and then direct current. Well, direct current first through Thomas Edison. There was just so many things that was innovated during that time, and life was beautiful for most people. But it really all changed with going away from the tariffs and switching to the income tax, because now you took it away from the American people. I mean, you took it away from other countries supporting us, and then us subsequently supporting them by doing business with them through trade and helping their countries grow too, to putting it on the American people, where it just messed up growth. It screwed up this country, and it put everybody in debt to enslave us. So this was a bad system. We need to go back to the tariffs, and we need to stay that way for the indefinitely, and it needs to go back to just Americans paying sales tax and tariffs, and all other taxes abolished.